Yeah. Why they don't get a nigga like me to sing the national anthem at nothing? It's nothing. Yo! Flame. Yo, give us a beat, baby! Some gangsta shit, yo! CNN, the best group that ever lived. Best motherfucking group that ever lived in rap. 100% real souls who speak truth. Yo, tell them how your life is, son. How your life is, yo. My life is nothing like a sitcom. You see, I sip Dom. I rock Jordans and can't stand pit bombs. Bases loaded, coach want me to butt, but I'ma go for the Homer and
November 21st, 2000, Capone and Noriega released their highly anticipated reunion album. During this period of time, make no mistakes about it, Queensbridge particularly had hip-hop in a chokehold. Nas, Mobb Deep, Capone and Noriega, Tragedy, Gaddafi, and Nature particularly have really been putting in a lot of pain as far as the mixtapes and mainstream hip-hop. Noriega had appeared on the Firm album. Noriega had a solo Noriega album. He had a follow-up Melvin Flint album. And he was really putting in a lot of fucking work. Capone was somewhat a mystery at this point. He spent a lot of time in jail. If you listen to the War Report, a lot of those records was Tragedy, Gaddafi. Capone was often calling in from the phone, so he was somewhat a mystery to a lot of people. The reunion album was, in my opinion, Capone's coming out party. It was during this period that the murder unit started to fragment. Amongst the 12 active acknowledged murder unit members, 2 are deceased, 3 are incarcerated, and 1 is deported. The deportee I felt was within my reach.
I'm in the hood, nigga, with the killers, nigga. Fuck boys. Y'all know what it is, nigga. Island style, nigga. You know what it is, man. Any motherfucking hood. You know murder unit, nigga, for life. Fuck boys.
I felt this whole project wouldn't be complete without some type of interjection from him, so I made sure I made the flight over there to Antigua to sit down with him face to face over the course of 4 days during the Christmas holiday.
I ain't never seen an orange coconut before. What's up with this orange coconut?
To get his first-hand account on the years between, I don't know, late 90s and 6'7" is one of the more highly recognizable members of the murder unit. Light-skinned guy, big personality, rock big jewelry. Probably could be described as brazen in some of his actions. He was often depicted flanking Noriega in music videos. I spoke to him over the phone, and one thing I know for sure from past experiences is that deportees welcome visitors from the United States. So we got a chance to kick it. You can't really get to the bottom of a person's, true personality through a choreographed interview over the course of 4 days. One thing I did get from being around him was manpower. I felt secure. He just has this presence. Manpower. Antigua is a beautiful island. I stayed at the Cocoa Bay Resort. Six came and picked me up every day. He got the, they got the foreign Lexus with the steering wheel on the right-hand side. That was different. And he took me into town and let me experience every aspect of the actual island. We went to Devil's Bridge. We went to all of the tourist attractions, but he made a point, and I made it a point of acknowledging the fact that I'm black and I want to be amongst the natives. And he made sure that I got a taste of Antiguan cuisine and the culture. Shout out to Antigua.
Me I tell.
Let me tell you about streets anywhere we go. Dog them serious, dog them no nervous. Boy, let me tell you about man we cool like a Eskimo. No boy can go round we. Hey, I know so the things hit me G. One phone call it take to make some boy wipe up her hurt and drop down flat. I stop my food dog, me no matter about you and me no care about that. Can't talk in my face, say them run place, I run them run round that. Man a action pack, some boy only full of tough chatter. Enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up. Talk them a talk, no action fi back. Enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up. Chat them a chat, me no pay that, no mind hear that. Empty barrel a make nice dog, them a no nobody, them a no nobody, yeah. Can't step to the president, all of me dogs, them a be a mad smaddy, yeah.
I'm waiting to get me an Antigua mask. I got one yesterday, but it was a Jamaica joint, and I ain't want to be out here wearing a Jamaican mask. Shout out to Jamaica.
One piece of metal and a post dog, you're no bad man from nowhere. You must see the whole of your life, cause it not work if you step to me. Enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up. Talk them a talk, no action fi back. Enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up. Chat them a chat, me no pay that, no mind hear that. One phone call it take fi make some boy wipe up her hurt and drop down flat. From you not stop my food dog, me no matter about you and me no care about that. Can't talk in my face, say them run place, I run them run round that. Man a action pack, some boy only full of tough chatter. Enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up. Talk them a talk, no action fi back. Enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up, enough of them stairs up. Chat them a chat, me no pay that, no mind hear that.
This is called Jennings.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like country part. Where we going now, we headed to the town.
Okay.
That's where I be at in the town.
So is it like a capital city here?
It's small, but it would be considered the town part. So you got basically town and then country, and then you got different country sections. You know what I'm saying? So like you got Bronx, Queens. You would have like Jennings, Bowlings. You know, like that's all the country parts, and there's different other parts that's country.
Right.
So when I picked you up, we went through Bowlings first, and now we in Jennings, and then from here we go down to the town side. So all this is fucking Jennings.
How long you been under deportation, Six?
I've been here like 10 years now, 12 years, going on 12 years.
When you came here from where? A detention center?
Yeah, from a detention center in Jersey.
Okay, how long was you there?
Like maybe about 9 months.
How long was the process before they felt it was time for you to leave? Do they have a name when it's just deportee?
Yeah, they just deport you.
Okay.
Yeah,
How you told me that you was in a couple of institutions and shit like that.
Yeah.
Explain to me the process that it actually took for you to reach deportation.
Well, I was in Allenwood Penn, And then from Allenwood Penn, as time got closer to getting out, they moved me to Allenwood Medium. And from Allenwood Medium, they end up sending me to, the little county jails here and there till they got you there. Then I seen the judge like through the fucking monitor shit. And they was trying to speed it up, basically, in my opinion. But my lawyer was full of fuck. Bottom line is, a nigga deported me for life and fucked me up with fucking crack.
What was the actual reasoning? Felonies?
Right, my record period. The cases, I had felonies. I had a kidnapping charge with some drugs. That was the last charge. You know what I'm saying? So all that. They wasn't trying to hear that shit. Then, some of the charges got thrown out, so then it ended up being for a gun charge too.
Right.
I had a couple gun charges. I've been to the feds before on a gun charge. I had got caught with 500 guns. Not the actual 500 guns in my hand, but about maybe 200 of them. And then, back then the law was different on the guns.
Where do you store 200 hammers?
You get them back to your homies.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? They store them.
Okay. Everybody hold one.
Or 2 or 3 or 4.
Right.
But yeah, back then I used to hustle guns, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I went from Virginia to New York. But back then it was like a limit. You only could get a certain amount of time.
Okay, so that shit was true about the gun situation from Virginia to up top.
Right.
I heard about that.
You only could get a certain amount of time. It was like 5 years, and then they run all the 5 years together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was sending crackheads in to buy like 80 guns at one time. That's how the law was so fucked up in Virginia to get guns.
Oh, so they had the laws aren't as strict down there.
As long as you never had a record,
yeah,
you was straight. So I was sending crackheads in that didn't have a record but was on crack. Yo, I need 80 guns. I need 30 guns. And they was going in and buying them one time.
They don't give a fuck. That don't raise no suspicion.
Well, I guess the nigga in the gun store had trying to get his money too, so he ain't fucking with that shit like that. He was selling.
Right.
Because when I got indicted, they went in and tried to indict him, but he killed himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because remember now, he's kind of breaking the law as far as selling that many guns, and then I guess he wasn't reporting it. But you know what I'm saying? He probably don't give a fuck. He probably was like, yo, let me just motherfucking make my bread, man. Yeah. So that's basically what it boiled down to.
And he knocked himself down.
Yeah, he knocked himself down, man. You know what I'm saying? He probably wouldn't even have got that much time. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, like I told you, they gave me 5 years, and then they gave me 5 years on like 10 counts. But they ran them to concurrent. So he wouldn't have got no more time neither. But after that, now they changed the gun law.
Okay.
So whereas, they could go over, and listen, 5 years was a lot, because they had to sentence you by your guidelines. But anything over 50 guns, they was able to go over the guidelines and hit you with the 5 years.
Okay. Prior to the first, you said you did 2 federal bits. Yeah,
the first one was on some gun shit. You know what I'm saying? For the guns, I got caught on 45th with 15 guns. That was me personally, and that was a state case.
You had 15 hammers on 45th.
And 900 rounds of bullet.
On 45th?
On 45th, and they caught me right there on 45th with that shit.
What was you doing on 45th, a block that's conventionally known for getting money and shit like that? What were you doing with all the goddamn...
When I pulled up, I had them with me, and I was trying to, get to my location, but I wanted to try to, handle something real quick.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out good. As I was about to leave, the motherfucking people pull up behind me, and one thing led to another, and they booked me, man.
Right. Did you go by the name 6-7, your first bid in the feds?
I actually got the name, the first bid in the feds.
You got it in the feds?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me some history on the actual name, because I spoke to some other members of MU, and they told me that it's associated with the supreme mathematics from the 5% Nation.
Well, I used to be a 5%, and my name was Unique God Allah.
Okay.
Back in them days there, you know what I'm saying? But, give you a quick version of the story. I had got into beef with some Philly niggas and got stabbed up or whatever, and was stabbing back.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you niggas can't harm me, nigga. I'm a gorilla, 6'7" large. And I came out the box. Niggas would start calling me, yo, gorilla, 6'7" large. My man Cladis started calling me that, nigga from Harlem.
Okay.
And, you know, from that, the name just stuck with me. Niggas was like, yo, 6'7", you know what I'm saying? Then I came home, I just had the name. And then, you know, from there.
Okay, so you came home in what year with the name, with the number?
95.
Okay, when you came home in 95, was you the first one to choose and wear a number as an identity, as a second name?
Right, I was the only one with the number, 6'7".
In 95, okay.
95.
Now, how did the rest of the Voltron start to form?
I was like, yo, man, you know, it's a good idea for niggas to have names as numbers. And then I was like, but, you know, try to get your name, your number according to your name, you know what I'm saying? To try to have something to do with you.
Okay. Personalize it.
Right, personalize it. And then some niggas was like, nah, come on, 6, you crazy, man, but, you know, or whatever. But as niggas going, they started catching on niggas when niggas started getting their names slowly but surely according to your personality. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's how people start getting the names. And then niggas was like, yeah, feeling it. Okay. And we just ran with this shit.
What was it about you that made you one of the more standout members of MU? Because throughout all my stories, your name constantly comes up. So, yeah, what about you? What did you do to demand so much attention?
I did anything. I wasn't scared of nothing. I did it and worried about it later.
Okay.
And I don't even want to use the word worried because I never went home and lost no motherfucking sleep. I did it, and then whatever it came out to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how it is. I ain't be like, oh man, if I do this, I'm gonna get in trouble. Nah, none of that shit, nigga. If a nigga violate, I did it, nigga.
Right.
And I had niggas that will roll with me, cause one thing with the murder unit niggas, the real murder unit niggas. I ain't talking about these niggas that run around talking about they murder unit and all that.
Okay.
I'm talking about motherfuckers that's really murder unit niggas. They know who they is. Them niggas would do whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
When you say niggas this real murder, let me hear it from the horse's mouth. Run the numbers off. Your identifiable brothers.
22, definitely. Gotta say 22.
Okay.
Another nigga number I don't want to mention, but back then, the nigga, you know what I'm saying? Nigga live wire.
Okay.
Can't forget J Beats, number 7, rest in peace. Got my man 4-2, 7-2. You know what I'm saying? Fucking D-Boss. Can't forget 0 minus.
I want food from people like that.
Yeah, but not her. Okay. Yeah, 0 minus. Mm-hmm. It's quite a few still, but you know, I'm saying the niggas that move when I move with me,
right,
was them niggas there, man. Like, yo, I'm going to the club, yo, we there. No now, they might come with other murder unit niggas or whatever, but that's who I'm calling.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
When y'all roll up in the
Biz,
club.
I can't forget Biz.
Day one was spent pretty much getting to know each other. I was hungry as a motherfucker, tired of eating, you know, the resort food and shit. I wanted some nigga food. He took me into the city and fed me. And we went to the alley.
What's up?
The alley is the set. The set is gutter. Reminded me of Shotters like a motherfucker. It just make you want to spray off a fucking assault rifle. You in this alley and it's stray dogs all over the fucking island. And we in this alley, and the alley is essentially any strip in America. And that's where we went to kick it at, and that's where my documenting started to accelerate.
Did you told me you did some federal time. Did you serve time in New York State?
Yeah, but I wasn't there long. I had a state charge running with my federal charge. So I still had to go to the state in order to get released when my time was up. So they sent me I only been to one state joint. I've been to Bear Hill. I went to downstate, then I went to Bear Hill. Stayed there maybe about 8 months, and then I came home. You know what I'm saying?
What was the difference between a state joint in New York and being in the federal system?
Well, the federal system, you know, is more, to me, it's a little bit more comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
It's comfortable?
Yeah, it was comfortable. Any job I go do was comfortable for me because I ain't really, I've been on Rikers Island. I ain't never, you know. So everything was good for me. I ain't never had no problem. Everywhere I go, somebody know me and know what time it is. So, you know, I just smoothed through my time, did my time for the most part, and just came home, man.
How long you was in Allenwood?
On the first one or the second one?
Which one was the longest?
The second one.
How long?
I stayed there 8.5, and then I went to the I went to the deportation shit after that. So
what years did you do the 8?
I got locked up 2000, I think it was 2000, 2001, yeah. Right before, I got locked up before D-Boss and them got locked up.
Okay, so, all right, boom. So you got locked up before the Reunion album?
No, I was there on the, that's, I was there, I was on the street for the Phone Time album too. Remember the Phone Time
Phone
album?
Time video.
Right, I was on the street for that. Y'all don't want to fuck with that shit with nobody.
Yeah.
And then that's around the time I went in a little bit after that.
Yeah. Would you describe yourself as being a fan of hip hop, being as you grew up in NYC?
I like a lot of old school shit.
Like
I like
who?
motherfuckers like Tila Rock back in the days. LL, you know what I'm saying? That type of shit. I like. Now this new generation, I like a few niggas now still, but you know down here they don't really. This is not a real hip hop island. So mostly my shit I say I gotta go on YouTube and see, and then if I see a song I like, then I just download it. But for the most part, the game changed. That's for sure.
Yeah. What was it like, moving with Thug Down Entertainment during, which was probably essentially Nori's prime, Capone and Noriega's prime? What was that like? And when I say what was that like, I mean, them songs was the shit, man. Them songs was the shit.
I think he was more hungry. Cause I guess he probably felt like, whatever issues with labels, I really don't know his situation, but to me back then he was hungry. And he was, I fucked with him.
Was that shit crazy? Because they was like coming out one after another, another hit, another one.
We was going on shows here, there. So, that's how it is really, I guess. The lifeline, but I guess as years passed, everybody kind of went their way, you know what I'm saying?
When you say that, do you mean that figuratively? Is the murder unit still family? You from Gerard Ave too?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part, certain niggas, everybody, I guess, seemed to me like everybody, in my opinion, everybody kind of, you cool, I'm fucking with you and you. I ain't fucking with this nigga, and this nigga ain't fucking with this nigga, you know what I'm saying? So everybody kind of like just spread it out, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know. Like I said, I don't be in contact with too many niggas, you know what I'm saying? So as you see, I fuck with Deuce hard, I fuck with Mike, No Grand Boot hard, you know what I'm saying? That's Mike 7'2", right. You know what I'm saying? Since I've been here, them niggas look, there's other niggas that look out for me, don't get me wrong with what I'm saying. I'm talking murder unit niggas.
Okay.
I got, it ain't too many of them that, you know what I'm saying? Most everybody that look out for me is more family and my own relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes K-Slay holler at me, whatever. I got niggas from Harlem, my man 40, different niggas, reach out for me when I need it. But murder you niggas, be honest with you, man, I ain't even give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Mike and Deuce, look out. Other niggas will do something here and there, you know what I'm saying? I can't forget my man Rocco. He home now, but before he went in, he made sure nigga was good too, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He home now, so he got to catch himself. He's still on house arrest and all that, you know what I'm saying? So he got to get himself straight before he can do anything for me, you know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker believe looking out mean you make a bag, you gotta give a nigga the bag. That's not how it go, nigga. But looking out is there for your nigga that's just a nigga. If you could, you do something for him if you know he in a worse position than you. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he would do it for you. So that's, you know, that's how it is still.
What's your relationship like with Nori these days?
My relationship with him, very distant. You know what I'm saying? Like, we speak. He texts me even up to today. He texts me. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, in my opinion, niggas don't do what they supposed to do for me, man. Nobody owe me nothing, so I don't want to contradict myself by saying don't do what he do for me. Let me rephrase that. Like, if the tables was turned and my niggas was here, if I gotta tell a nigga, pass that fucking bag before I slump you, nigga, just to make sure my nigga good, at least say, yo, hold this and try to motherfucking get yourself together, because I might not can't do nothing for you tomorrow. But this bag here, try to do something the way you could get ahead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some niggas don't look at it like that. Some niggas believe they do a little 1-2 little shit for you, that they did something big, but yeah, you niggas want to be on Instagram and be like, on the social media shit, like, you know, you Donald Trump's son and shit is getting all the money in the world, you buying $2,000 bottles and you're throwing 50 million away every day, but you can't do nothing for a nigga that's your man.
Let's talk about that for 1 minute. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, when you see niggas go on a regular and just spend $2,000 on a bottle, you know, on bottles and shit like that, we could be making real changes in the world with money, man. Like, it's not gonna always be this way to where we can just throw it away and you know what I mean? Like, I never understood that and shit.
Well, the bottle drinking and shit, I'm agree with that. But like, if I go to a strip club, let's just say you're in a strip club and you want to give a dancer 10 stacks, that's love, because the dancer hustling too and working.
And she got a family.
She got a family to feed and all that. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So all that's good. But to me, to take 10 stacks and say I'm gonna buy 10 bottles, when them bottles done, and I got my nigga over there, he can't even buy one bottle, and I could rather give my nigga the 10 stacks and say, yo, do something with this and try to get on your feet. You gotta start, nigga. Don't bother me no more.
Yeah.
If it get to that point, you know what I'm saying, or whatever be the case. But a lot of people, they want to live the life. And don't get me wrong, because I used to live the same life. So I don't want to sound like I'm hating because I'm in a fucked up situation now.
Right.
Because I don't drink personally, but I too would go to the strip club if I had a bag and be like, yo, here, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically, I don't want nobody to think, oh, yo, he hating on niggas. I'm not hating on niggas. Nigga, bust it back. I want you to get a stripper 20 grand, nigga. Because like you said, she got a family to feed too, nigga, and she hustling, nigga. So I'm with all that, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you could spend 10 grand on a bottle, nothing wrong with that, nigga. That's you. But make sure your nigga that you know in time of need was there for you could fucking is all right.
No doubt.
Make sure he could buy 10 bottles, man. Even if you got to give him a start so he can make the money to buy 10 bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it ain't about giving nobody nothing free, but yo, hold this and do something with it positive. You know what I'm saying?
They rather let the burner do it. I swear I missed the murder unit. Lynch mob, same day. Scream team, 40 rules, bang bang.
Times that we've spoken in regards to MU, we speak about MU applying pressure and, you know, pretty much doing whatever they want. You said Scream Team? Scream Team. Can you give me some history on that? Like, how did that play develop with them? That problem with them develop?
Well, it developed going into a club, and an incident happened in a club. I don't want to get too much detail about it, but an incident happened in the club where niggas bumped me, and then one of the murder unit niggas popped off, and then a couple days later, niggas tried to knock me off. They shot over 100 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got caught on the scene with guns and all that. So, you know, I guess like it's reported already. Everybody already know whatever. But I don't really even know what became of that because remember, ain't nobody going to court or none of that shit. So most, I guess, a nigga gonna get is a gun charge when that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Early 1990s gave birth to a lot of neighborhood drug crews. A lot of crews was getting some real money on their blocks all over America. No different was the scene in the Bronx where you had Sex, Money, Murder, the Scream Team, Murder Unit, all active around the same time. They were all frequenting the same nightclubs. And of course, alcohol, testosterone, you'll have some incidents. So there was an incident between Murder Unit and the Scream Team at the Savoy. About a week after the incident, there was an assassination attempt. I got a chance to speak with 6'7" on this situation. He gave me his brief recollection of what happened. I also spoke to Baby Bob, and I spoke to Ant Live. Ant Live is an actual member of the Scream Team and a co-defendant of Fred Action Jackson, who was one of the gunmen arrested at the scene of the Murder Unit assassination attempt. Fred is currently serving 50 years for drugs and murder.
You know what I mean? So basically that's it, really. I don't really, you know, like I said, I don't really know. That I know some of them niggas and the beef kind of got squashed. You know, back then there was so much beef going on. When nigga, you squash the beef, you happy, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not really happy, but one less beef you got, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
every day you making a beef.
So y'all had crew beef. Y'all didn't just have, you know, individual situations and shit. Like, I'm trying to establish, how did the name become so notorious? Prior to me interviewing you, everything was basically club action, things that went down in the clubs and shit.
Because to me, once I came home, the Murder Unit was there. Remember, niggas doing that shit, but they're doing it quiet. But from going to all the parties and different events and shit popping off, whether it could just be a little fight, could be anything, a shootout, whatever. The names start like going, people start saying, yo, the Murder Unit niggas. Then maybe something else happened that's more serious over there, and then niggas be like, oh yeah, the Murder Unit niggas. So now, from the parties put you on, and fucking with Nori put you on that, the bigger picture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So really, if we wasn't fun with Nori, I don't know if it would have went so big so fast. Or it would have been big in the Bronx. It would have been big maybe in New York, the 5 boroughs. But as far as going out of country, out of state or whatever you want to say, I guess because Nori platform made a motherfucker in Georgia say, oh shit, Murder Unit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas it was more street shit in New York. So I think that's how it kind of...
How long was y'all appearing in music videos and shit like that before people started to say, yo, that's them niggas right there?
Well, once we was in videos, they already knew it was us. Cause like niggas had jerseys, and you went to the video mostly because of Nori.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Cause remember, Nori's part of us. We rolling with Nori, wherever, here, there, everywhere. So people more knew Murder Unit. So Nori going to a video shoot, he might have 3-4 Murder Unit niggas in the video shoot. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's how it is. And then motherfuckers know, yo, that's the Murder Unit. And then nigga might have a jersey with his number on it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
who was coming up? I seen the baseball jerseys that they was wearing on tour. Was you on that tour? Did you go on tour too?
I think I was locked up on it.
Okay. Who was designing those jerseys and shit? Them joints was coming out
we
butter.
was basically just getting the Yankee jerseys and putting the numbers on it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like Deuce would say, yo, let's get the jersey from here, or whoever, you know, that know where they got the jersey place.
So they was gray.
They had gray, they had blue, black, whatever color, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll put your number on it, whatever your number was, you made it into the jersey.
Okay.
Throughout the time spent with 6'7" on the island, we encountered several people. I met his family. We went to the alley, met a few guys from the set, but one specific guy spent the most time with us.
I can't remember his name. He just had a similar presence and work detail as George from my Haitian Jack Speaks series. All through the island, every move Six made, he didn't take his eye off of him. He often trailed us wherever we was at. You know, he brought up the rear, and hey, it is what it is. Born and raised on the island. He was a shotter. I think we might have smoked a blunt together once or twice. He didn't smoke a lot. I probably didn't smoke a blunt with him. I probably smoked a blunt with one of the other cats. He was always on point. Yeah, very strong. He said he, trained to box and shit like that. He was in shape pretty good. Eventually, when we made it to Devil's Island, we had a chance to have a conversation. After we were introduced, he never too much spoke to me directly. He would only, respond to dialogue from 6'7". I didn't even know that he could speak any English. We kind of like communicated with head nods and shit like that. He might have rolled a blunt for me. I can't remember, but there was not a lot of communication until we got to Devil's Bridge. And I made it clear to them that I was very, very interested in filming the landscape of the island, and I seen cannons and shit like that. I said, is this a fort or something like that? And at that point, he came to life to share the history of the island. It was a very, very interesting moment. People from other countries are very, very prideful in regards to their exchanges with Americans. He wanted to make sure I got a clear understanding and didn't get it fucked up about where we were standing on the island of Antigua. For hundreds of thousands of years, the Atlantic Ocean crashed into the eastern coast shore of Antigua, and it created an indentation known as Devil's Bridge. The water, from crashing into the island all of these years, it kind of shaped it, and the rock formation sort of looked like a bridge. And during the slave times on the island of Antigua, some of the slaves would run or walk across this formation of rocks called Devil's Bridge and drown themselves into the ocean, thinking that they will be reborn and rebirthed someplace as free men and women. And that's how the name Devil's Bridge came into play. I'm gonna let y'all hear him talk. That's 6'7" right there from MU. This shit is incredible. I gotta roll up some weed. I gotta roll up.
During the reunion album, I was in jail fighting the murder case that I caught in Sue's Rendezvous when I had to shoot a nigga down because he said he was going to shoot one of us down first. The last time I saw Low Love was around that time. The last time I saw JB was on a visit while I was fighting the murder case. 6'7" is my bigger brother from the neighborhood. We all grew up in the hood. Everybody in this video, 90% of everybody you see in this video is from that one little block. That's why the impact we had was so crazy. It's like, damn, these niggas ain't from the projects, these niggas from this little block, and they just go hard.
By the time the reunion album came out, Murder Unit was well off into infamy already. As a matter of fact, some of them had already started going on to do their prison sentences. Everybody didn't. This wasn't like no big gang indictment or nothing like that. Baby Bob got locked up for, drugs and I guess you could say murder unit related activities.
I'm 23 years old, just coming from doing 3.5 years in the state. After being home only 8 months, so now I'm in a federal prison And I'm learning, you know, the law of the land. I'm finding out about CIs, you know, which is confidential informants. I'm finding out, you know, about separations, you know, when your co-defendants, they start, you know, separating you from your co-defendants. I mean, most of the time something ain't right. They keeping the teller away from the stand-up guy, you know what I mean? In this state of despair, because that's what prison is a lot of times, man. It's like the end of the road, you know what I mean? And for those who come back home and are released, it's very important that we grasp onto the technology, the education, the jobs, the funding, you know, and making great of our misstep, you know what I mean? Because a lot of us had entrepreneurial spirit, you know, and we went into an industry that was present at these particular times of the 80s, 90s, 70s, 60s, etc. And this, we're trying to prevent these doors from keep opening and snatching these young brothers and older brothers too. It's not like keep preaching to like these kids are smart. We got to speak to the adults within us and to each other too, that we can embrace life and be man enough to excel and get jobs if we have to get a job, better than standing, you know what I mean, around doing nothing.
Deuce, of course, was locked up. He had his incident at Sue's Rendezvous. He ended up serving 13 years. Noriega reflected on the reunion album about the way he felt about, you know, I guess, missing Deuce.
Carhartt and bulletproof is under my goose. And go to hell to that nigga that snitched on Deuce.
Missing times when he was riding around, hanging out with Five.
Change, because I normally came on an R train. Now me and Five in the range. We used to twist Phillies.
If you listen closely to the album, you can tell that some of the things that they was going through was starting to weigh on him. At which point the murder unit somewhat fragmented, different cases happened. The Hot 97. Where was you at during the Hot 97 shootout?
I was around.
You was there?
No, I wasn't there, but I was around at that time. I was on the run at that time. I was on the run for a while. Even while I was doing a lot of that shit, I was on the run. People just didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Like one time I got locked up and I had just came home and got locked up. Days. Remember that same Savoy incident we were speaking about, all separate, differently.
Okay.
Right? And we was all in the fucking bookends and I was like, shit, I just came home. And nigga, Deuce was like, yo, rub this on your finger. And scrape your finger on the ground.
Right.
And by the time niggas took my fingerprints, I gave a bogus name, my shit came up, never been arrested. The judge honored me.
Wow.
And let me go.
Clutch.
Deuce saved me. I just came home. I wasn't even home. 30 days ain't even come, man.
Right. Damn.
And he was like, yo, rub that on your fingers. Just keep rubbing it, man, till it's time to take the fingerprints. And
two of the more high-profile murder unit members, number 7 and number 23, both met their demise at some point.
Right. No love, rest in peace. And the rest in peace, JB.
What is your understanding of each individual situation? Let's start with number 23, who is Julian, right?
No love, yeah.
Okay. Allegedly a suicide situation. Is that your understanding of it?
Yeah, that's what they say. But I heard that he had bruises all on his knuckles. Like he was in a fight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And knowing his character, he's a nigga that comes out of jail today.
Yeah.
And when you're looking for him tomorrow, he's back in jail. So for him to kill himself, I would never believe that in a million years. And he's a nigga, he's not scared to do nothing or none of that. And like I said, they said he had bruises on his knuckles. And his mom said that it looked like he was in a fight, whoever. Said that when they went and did the autopsy separately, like it doesn't look like he hung himself. I mean, he had marks on his body.
Yeah.
Like they beat him. I believe the police killed him.
That's kind of the understanding that I got.
Yeah, that's all the evidence point to that. You know what I'm saying?
It's been on record that they allegedly was, whenever they had encounters with other members of the murder unit, Baby Bob, etc., they would say, when we catch 23, we gonna kill that nigga.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't really know too much about it, but I have heard it.
Right.
Like I said, he's a nigga that come out of jail today. He might see you, like an incident that happened. Somebody got a little incident with somebody on the block that we know or whatever, and I guess the person wasn't really too much going by what I was saying, and he cut them in their face from head to toe. So, $150 easy. And that was like a day after being home. So, like I said, to commit suicide, I ain't buying it.
Right. What about number 7, JB? What's your understanding of what happened to him?
Well, I heard that they basically killed him in a drive-through car wash or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They said they basically got killed in a drive-through car wash, going through the car wash. It's alleged that someone in the murder unit put the hit out on them or whatever, allegedly.
Right.
Like I said, I was in jail, so I really don't know. Just going by what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically...
Did it make any sense for someone, another murder unit member, to have put, to harm him?
No.
It didn't make sense?
It didn't make sense. Not for all the money in the world, man.
Right.
Because he wasn't just a murder unit member. He was, murder unit was more like a family. The main niggas from Gerard.
Okay.
The Gerard niggas we all was family. So even if you fought, then that's how brothers fight. But that don't mean you could come and do something. So to do some type of bodily harm to a brother,
right?
You're not gonna fight your brother and want to kill him or want to stab up your brother. Not no real nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So basically, to me, that shit wasn't called for, man. I don't give a fuck what was the reason. And he's a nigga, JB a nigga. He would look out for you. Once he can, he can. Mostly everybody was like that. Right. It's just as niggas got a little older, I guess, or let's just say they got a little older, everybody kind of went their separate ways. But it's niggas, some people don't talk to some people, or some people just hail when they see them, what up, and keep it moving. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody do their own thing, you know what I'm saying? Right. But back then, it was like all family. So if you fucked with one, you fucked with all. Right. I don't even give a fuck who wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, me basically when I was going with Baby Bob. When 7-2 was around, that's my man Mike Boot. He would roll with us, but then he had went to jail for a few years, so he was out the picture. Right. But I got my man Rocco. You know what I'm saying? When Rocco, Baby Bob, D-Boss. Basically, it's them people that Deuce that we going out together. Got it. You know what I'm saying? Number 7 didn't really go out that much. Oh yeah? Yeah, he didn't really go out as much as we did. Me, Ron, and D-Boss and Baby Bob, we might have been partying every fucking night. You know what I'm saying? And the other nigga that I don't call his name, right? We was partying every fucking night. We was there somewhere, man. If it was a party, we was there, man.
The guy that you don't choose to say his name, when was the last time you saw him face to face?
Before I went to jail.
Were you present for the situation with Nut from Brooklyn that happened in the tunnel?
Yeah, I was there.
Tell me your story. Let me get your version, man. This is an exclusive right here. Straight from the horse's mouth, man. Tell me what you remember about that night.
Well, I really remember Jim and them, and I don't really know what their argument was about or whatever the words that was exchanged between them. All I know was they had a little tension. Let's just call it tension. Mm-hmm. And all I seen somebody like flashing something. Then I seen another nigga from the murder unit was like, fuck that, nigga. And he got it too, you know what I'm saying? And then he had 2 joints, and somebody else had 2 joints, it looked like. And whatever, you know, was said over there, I was standing right there, but not really too much caring about the talking.
Right.
And once I see niggas had it under control, we just went about our business. The shit was squashed, you know what I'm saying?
At what point did you find out that that was a somebody on the other end of that encounter?
A nigga from Brooklyn told me that one of my mans from Brownsville.
Yeah.
Told me, he was like, yo, I heard you was in the tunnel and something, such and such and such and such and such. And then that's how I kind of found out who was, because he, you know, explained to me.
Okay.
Who the nigga was.
So, are you familiar with how he met his fate? He ended up dying some years later.
Nah. How he died?
He had an internal situation going on in LG, Lafayette Gardens Projects. Right. He the one that was at odds with World.
Okay.
And he got shot outside of a nightclub in Manhattan, and he got shot in his Range Rover. He took off, he hit the gas,
right.
And he ended up running over. He killed himself and ran over somebody on the sidewalk or some shit.
Oh, after he got hit?
Yeah.
Right. He been out like that.
Yeah, unfortunately. Rest in peace to him. He had a very, very big name. Ivory Peanut Davis was his name. This is Deportation. And you were sent here to be punished. It don't look like punishment to me.
Well, it ain't really punishment, you know?
Right.
Because you're free.
Right.
And God gave you life. So, you know?
Look at this shit, man. This is incredible. This is your reality now. It's a long way from New York City. People in New York would describe this as paradise, Six.
It's good for vacation, though. I'd rather be in New York in the snow.
You'd rather get you some snow?
I'd rather get me some snow right now. This is good for a visit, man. But to live,